Wow, there are a lot of former Yankees on the Padres.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Today's episode is brought to you by GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and you get $20 off your first purchase when you use the code Locked On. Coming up on today's show, we discuss roster moves because we're only 8 days away from opening day as I'm recording this on March 20th. And we have injuries to discuss because it's the Yankees and there's always an injury to discuss. And we're keeping an eye on ex-Yankees in the Seoul series. The first game of that series ended right as I started recording on Wednesday morning. But first, let's discuss Carlos Rodon. I know it's Wednesday. He pitched on Monday, but I put up a show yesterday that was recorded Sunday. It's all convoluted. You don't need to know about it. But the thing is, Carlos Rodon is looking better. He pitched against the Phillies on Monday, went 5 2/3 innings, did not give up a hit, did not give up a run, only walked 1, struck out 5. He's looking better. His velocity was looking better as well. And overall in spring, and I know I keep saying, don't pay attention to spring numbers, but when it's someone like Carlos Rodon, you kind of should pay attention to his numbers just because he's working his way back from having a terrible year. And his ERA overall in his spring starts is down to a 2.93, which, hey, if he could do that in the regular season, the Yankees would be set up for a lot of success in Gerrit Cole's absence because Rodon's the guy that has to step up. He's the one that has to be the number one guy. It'll be interesting to see who does step up to be the number one guy, because a lot of times it's not the guy you think is going to step up, and the Yankees need him, especially, as I said, after his really rough 2023 season. He's the guy that everyone's looking at. I feel like Nestor Cortez is also important because he had a rough 2023. But Rodon is making the big money. He's the guy who came in, signed that big free agent contract, and he's the one the eyes are on. So it was good to see that. Actually, very good to see that. He looked very comfortable. And it was really funny because if you didn't watch the game, if you're someone who actually works in an office and doesn't work from home and you can't sneak Yankee games in on your computer, and you didn't see the clips, I don't know how you didn't, but Joe Torre took Carlos Rodon out because he was hanging out. And Rodon had a couple more pitches to make to hit his limit. And at first he was kind of annoyed that they were taking him out. And then he noticed that it was Joe Torre heading toward him. And he couldn't really get angry with Joe Torre because he said, I look up and I was like, oh, it's Joe Torre. I should give him the ball. Because that is cool. And it's funny. Joe Torre, not that his walk would change, but, you know, Joe Torre came over to the Yankees at the end of 1995. Think about how long ago 1995 is. And Joe Torre wasn't a spring chicken when he started coaching the Yankees. So he's up there in years. And, you know, he still moves well. I was impressed by that. But that was really cool. And I feel like these guys are probably being helped out by having guys like Joe Torre. I mentioned Andy Pettitte on Monday's show. He was talking with Brock Selvage, and Bernie Williams talking with Giancarlo Stanton, and probably talking with everyone. But the other funny thing about the Carlos Rodon moment was Anthony Volpe had the biggest smile on his face looking at Joe Torre, which I think is adorable because, you know, Volpe was itty bitty when Joe Torre was still managing the Yankees because Volpe isn't that old and Torre's been gone a while. So that was kind of cool to see. But I feel like, you know, having guys like Pettitte, Williams, Torre, Ron Guidry is there. You know, there's something to be said for the former Yankees and their knowledge of being a former Yankee and just being a baseball player and helping these guys out. That'll help not only the kids, but the veterans. And you know, I feel like someone like Carlos Rodon, he played in San Francisco. San Francisco's not a tiny market, but it's a whole different thing when you come from Oh, and he played in Chicago. Chicago's a big market. I know that the White Sox like to act like they're not a big market team, but they are. But it's just different coming to New York. So I always like when they have the former players, and it's cool to have Torrey there walking out and replacing pitchers. I mentioned Volpe, and right after I was touting him for leadoff hitter, he went 0 for 4 on Monday. Not that it matters. That doesn't. I mean, you have bad games like that. But his spring training average is still 333. That's pretty good. Juan Soto got a hit. Gleyber Torres, Stanton, Austin Wells. Oswaldo Cabrera was 2 for 3 with a home run. That's always cool to see. You want to see him because we're going to be talking about DJ LeMahieu's injury in segment 3. But who's playing third opening day? Because the person I would have wanted to play third, Oswald Peraza, can't hold a baseball for almost 2 months. So that's not going to happen. It seems like Oswaldo Cabrera might be someone they can think about to put in for DJ on opening day. It's not definite that he's out, but it's looking like that. Of course, we'll talk about that in segment 3. Other pitching performances on Monday. Ian Hamilton pitched a third of an inning, got a strikeout. Jonathan Loaisiga pitched a full inning, gave up a run on 2 hits, gave up a home run to Clemens. Oh, to Clemens. Cool. Cody Poteet pitched 2 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits. And, the Yankees were 1 for 8. And I know some people will say, they're still not hitting. It's okay. It's just the way it is with the Yankees. So tonight, as I'm recording this Wednesday morning, which is very strange for me because I usually record the show the day before, the Yankees are playing the Pirates. Aaron Judge is supposed to be in the lineup. And let me just double check because sometimes they put them out early. But the plan was he was supposed to play Wednesday night because they're trying to get him some reps so he can be ready for opening day. But let's just double check. I don't see anything yet, but I will check again before I'm done recording. But the plan is that he's playing today against the Pirates. This is 6:35 start. Luke Weaver is starting for the Yankees. Hopefully we'll see Aaron Judge in the lineup and not wincing when he swings the bat. That's all you can hope for. So coming up in segment 2, we're going to talk about the former Yankees in Seoul, Korea, because the Padres should just change their name to former Yankees because there's so many of them. But before we do that, don't forget to reply to the pinned comment on our videos Monday through Thursday if you want your questions answered for Fan Mail Friday, or you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description. You'll get texts from me about roster moves and injuries and anything else that comes up. And you can text me questions. There's a 14-day free trial and it's a lot of fun. So coming up next, the former Yankees in Seoul. PrizePicks is North America's largest daily fantasy sports platform. It's the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS because it's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you watch the winnings roll in. PrizePicks is really simple to play. You can make your picks and submit your entry in less than 60 seconds, and PrizePicks now offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account. And even better, you can win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. So you could turn $10 into $1,000 with NBA, NHL, and college basketball entries. So download the app today and find out why PrizePicks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Enter code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, that's code LOCKEDONMLB. That's all one word and all in lowercase letters, and get that first deposit match up to $100. Join PrizePicks today. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Welcome back. As you know, Locked On has launched the first ever national 24/7 streaming channel, Locked On Sports Today. Well, baseball fans Mark your calendars because tonight, March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern, you get to watch the best MLB season preview coming exclusively to Locked On Sports Today. Again, that's tonight, March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can be the first to get local insight from the local experts of the Locked On Podcast Network. Once again, find it tonight, March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Locked On Sports Today 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire Channels app. So I joked about how the Padres should just change their name to ex-Yankees, but it's true. There are a lot of ex-Yankees on that Padres team. I will admit I woke up late this morning and I caught the game right as the Dodgers scored the 4 runs in the 8th inning. And I was watching Jhony Brito, former Yankee. And I thought to myself, oh, isn't it going to be fun watching all these former Yankees do a good job for the Padres? And then the inning fell apart and the Dodgers scored 4. A ball, if you weren't watching it, again, if you're at work and not able to watch things, a ball went through Jake Cronenworth's webbing, literally through the hole of the webbing in the infield. How does that happen? I don't know. But the Dodgers ended up scoring 4. They won the game 5-2. And this was, of course, after 7 innings of people joking about the Yankees. Well, yes, the Yankees can't buy a pennant either, but the money not buying a pennant and the Dodgers, because that's how it is. Fans will overreact to the first game of the season. So when the Dodgers were being held to 1 run in 7 innings, everyone's like, oh, this is a prediction. This is what the season's going to look like. You know, they signed all these guys and it's going to be bad. And that's not how it works. So, or maybe it is how it works. Maybe the Dodgers are going to do really well this season and win because they ended up winning that game. Former Yankee Tyler Wade on the Padres. He was 1 for 2, although he made an error. Because, you know, the other thing about watching former Yankees on other teams is you hope they don't do well. At least some Yankee fans are like that, where they feel better when the guy doesn't do well. So Wade makes an error. Wany pitched an inning. He gave up 1 run, walked 2, struck out 1, didn't give up any hits. Jhony Brito got the loss. He gave up those 2 runs. Or gave up 2 runs on that error by, I guess that's an error. Is that an error by Cronenworth? He had a walk, no strikeouts, and a hit. He was throwing the ball hard, though, because when I turned on the game, the first pitch I saw from him was 97. And, you know, it's going to be interesting just watching all these guys. Now, out of everyone else, Higashioka didn't play, King didn't pitch, and Randy Vasquez didn't pitch. So maybe we'll see them in tomorrow's game. That's possible. Probably. I would think so. I would think that they would give the other guys a chance to play. But it's really cool that the few minutes that I did watch of the game, they really love baseball in Asia, Southeast Asia. And it's really fun to watch how those fans react to everything at a baseball game. And it kind of makes me wish that we would do that here in the United States, because we had talked about that either not earlier this month, because it's only been me. Last month, Steve and I spoke about how we would want international games to be in different places. And Steve had mentioned Mexico as a place, which we'll talk about that on tomorrow's show, because there's some stuff to talk about the games in Mexico coming up. And we were talking about the Southeast Asian countries and just how much fun it is to watch baseball there, and how the United States should adopt some of their ideas to make the games fun. The Mets are kind of doing it with the dance team that they're going to have at Citi Field that's coming up this season. I know some people had some things to say about that. Why are they doing it? It's a distraction. But if they're doing it between innings and riling up the crowd, don't you want that? You don't want to just sit there and be bored. You want the games to be fun. At least I think you would, right? So the Seoul series continues Thursday also, 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern. I know a lot of people woke up for it, though. There were a lot of people on Twitter last night showing their alarm clock on their phone being set for 5:55, so they just roll out of bed and watch the game. I just figured, because I don't normally sleep well, that I'd be up in time to watch the game. And of course, I overslept when I couldn't really afford to oversleep. So isn't that always the way? It's always the way. Yeah. But where would you like to see the Yankees play? Would you like to see the Yankees do another opening series like this where they go, because, they went to Japan in 04. That was fun. And especially having Matsui on the team and seeing the crowd go nuts for him. It doesn't have to necessarily be a team over in Southeast Asia. It could be somewhere else. It could be in Europe, maybe Australia. We mentioned that as a possibility because, baseball is becoming popular there. Greg Bird plays in the Australian League. I had said that I would like for an opening series to be in Montreal. That'd be fun. I mean, honestly, I would like a team to be in Montreal because I would love to be able to take the train up to Montreal and watch the Yankees play, or even just watch the Montreal team play whoever comes into town. That would be cool. So let me know what places you think should have a series like this, and where would you like to see the Yankees play in a series like this? Coming up next, roster moves and DJ LeMahieu's foot. Because, God forbid, the Yankees don't have an injury to contend with leading up to opening day. If you're looking for tickets for just about anything, check out the app GameTime. GameTime is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and shows near you. Baseball in New York is only a few weeks away, and GameTime already has flash deals for the home opener and that home opening weekend against the Blue Jays. I already checked it out, and I have my eye on some things. And GameTime has deals on tickets right up to just moments before the event starts and even an hour after it starts. So it's the place to find last-minute seats. If you decide you want to go to the home opener and it's 12:30 on that day, you can find tickets for the 1:05 start. You can also find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for basketball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download GameTime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Let's get that off there. There we go. Welcome back to the final segment of Locked On Yankees. As you know, Locked On has launched the first ever national 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and it's now available on Amazon Fire TV in the free Fire TV Channels app. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today now available on the free Fire TV Channels app. DJ LeMahieu, I joked about it. I made a joke about it on Monday's show, so you can blame me for this, because I had a feeling that even though the x-rays came back negative, that something was going to be wrong with DJ LeMahieu's foot and that he'd be questionable for opening day. And here we are. We're here. He has a bone bruise. Bone bruises are not good. I'm just going to say it. You know who else had a bone bruise? Derek Jeter. Remember when he had that bone bruise and he played through it, and then his ankle collapsed underneath him in the 2012 ALCS? Yeah. So DJ LeMahieu has a bone bruise. He's questionable for opening day, which means the Yankees are questionable for a third baseman for opening day. I will probably discuss that as we get closer to opening day, which is only 8 days away from when I'm recording this episode. Can you believe it? We're here already. Isn't that crazy? I can't believe that we are actually at opening day. That's just unbelievable to me. We're basically a week out. And I mean, honestly, it's technically opening day for MLB because the Seoul series is a regular season series and the Dodgers are already 1-0. So looks like they're winning the World Series, guys. Pack it in. No reason to play. There's no reason for anyone else to play. The Dodgers are going to win everything. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so DJ LeMahieu, questionable for opening day. And I just think he needs to rest the bone bruise because not that he's old, but he's older and you don't want him risking something worse happening to that foot. Other things happening, Yorbit Vivas optioned down to AAA after the game on Monday. If you recall, he was acquired in December when the Yankees traded Trey Sweeney to the Dodgers. There were so many moves in the offseason that I had to look up to see which move Vivas was a part of. Because the Yankees and the Dodgers did a couple of things in the offseason, and I couldn't remember which move it was. And right, Trey Sweeney. That's right. He went to the Dodgers too. So all these guys that I learned about last year, thanks to my former co-host, Steve Granado, so many of them are gone now. And I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. So yeah, Vivas was part of the Trey Sweeney trade to the Dodgers because I thought he was part of the Caleb Ferguson move, but then I realized, wait, I think that was pitcher for pitcher, right? I'm sorry, I completely skipped over a quote from Aaron Boone about DJ LeMahieu's foot. It's his right foot. Did I even mention that? He fouled the ball off his right foot. So he had gotten an X-ray and a CT scan. It was clean, but the bone bruise is pretty significant. Those are the words that they used for it. And Boone said, on a foot that's had some issues for him, I'm not going to have him play through anything initially. I feel that's where you start compensating and putting other parts of your body and that foot in jeopardy. I've been clear with DJ on that. Well, that's good. At least Aaron Boone is finally figuring this out after how many years of being a manager? Are the Yankees finally figuring this out, that maybe guys shouldn't try to play through things because when they do, it ultimately results in them missing even more time? Have we finally gotten to that point in 2024? Let's hope so. So yeah, DJ needs to sit out. Yankees need to figure out who's going to play third on opening day. Aaron Judge needs to appear in the lineup for Wednesday because he needs to get in as many reps as possible. And let's see. I'm checking Twitter. I don't mean to look down. I'm just looking at my phone because it's easier for me to do that than to look on my computer. I'm refreshing Twitter right now. Here, look. I'm refreshing it. I don't see anything yet. It might be too early because sometimes in spring training, they put the lineups up in the morning. The beat writers will do that because the Yankees put it up. So right now at 10 a.m., Wednesday, March 20th, it's literally 10 o'clock and 35 seconds. There's no lineup. So we'll see what happens with that. But if Judge does play on Wednesday, that's a good sign. And again, just watch out for any wincing, any uncomfortable faces, because I know everyone will do that. I joked about it the other day when I said, or was it last week when I said that in this day and age, you can't really lie about injuries anymore because people will record everything and talk record and Zoom and, ooh, his face did this and he did this and he grabbed something and this, it looked like he pulled this. There's no way of getting around anything. So you can't hide anything. So just let us know what's going on with everyone. That's all we ask for. We don't need it to be a HIPAA violation because I know that was coming up as well. Some people were like, oh, well, they shouldn't tell us anything because the player has privacy. There's the privacy thing happening. I think what Yankee fans are complaining about is that it feels like they're constantly lying to us. Just tell us they're hurt. That's all we need to know. Don't give us this, oh, he's going to be okay, it's day to day. And then a guy goes on the IL for 3 months. That's what we're asking for. We're just asking for a little more transparency when it comes to how a player's feeling. We don't need to know the exact injury. We just need to know, oh, yeah, no, there's a possibility he's going to go on the IL. Don't give us this runaround where, oh, it's just day to day. He'll be fine. He just needs a couple days off. And then it turns into 2 months, 3 months, end of the year, or his year ends. It's a season ending injury. That's all we're asking for. And I feel like with this bone bruise, it might just put DJ on the IL right now to start the year. Just do it. It'll make his life easier because he doesn't have to rush back because he knows he has the IL time. And you could just slot someone in there for him. I don't mean to tell the Yankees how to do their job, but it seems pretty simple to me, right? I mean, Boone just said in that quote, he doesn't want him overcompensating and hurting something else on his body or risking further damage to that foot by playing, so just put him on the IL. That seems pretty simple to me. I don't know. Let me know below if you think it's as simple as I think it is. So before I go, one more time, don't forget to join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. There's a link in the description below and a 14-day free trial. You get texts from me and you can text me questions. And speaking of that, you can leave your questions under the pinned comment on YouTube for Fan Mail Friday, or you can join the Insiders Club where you get top priority on Fan Mail Friday. I'll still read your questions from YouTube, but if you're an insider, I read them first. So that's going to do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on time tomorrow.